Hi, and welcome to Let's Bake and Cook Stuff. Today I'm making triple layer fudge. It's one of those super impressive candies that are super easy to make. So I started out with 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, along with 2/3 of a cup of evaporated milk. And I've got this going. When you're doing it on a regular stove, you're going to be doing this on a medium heat. We're allowing the butter to melt and the sugar to dissolve. We're stirring quite often, and once it starts boiling, we'll be stirring it constantly for 5 minutes, and then we'll be back with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, and we're gonna add the marshmallows, 1.5 cups. 1.5 cups of chocolate chips and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And this is our chocolate layer. And stir until those chocolate chips are melted. Also put some parchment paper in the bottom to make it easier to cut them in pieces. Don't touch the candy, it's really hot. Okay, that's still pretty hot. You're gonna let this sit while you're making the peanut butter layer. Okay, the good news about the peanut butter layer is it's a lot like the chocolate layer in that we're gonna be using evaporated milk. Again, 2/3 of a cup. This is 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar and 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. And we're just gonna use those. No butter in this one because we're gonna be adding peanut butter. We're gonna stir this, bring it up to a boil, and then we'll be back once it's boiled for the 5 minutes. You know, this is a good rolling boil. This is gonna go for 5 minutes like this. And you have to stir it constantly. This is the peanut butter layer. Of course, we don't have any peanut butter in there yet, but this is going to be the peanut butter layer. And you have to stir this constantly or it will scorch. We're on a medium heat. Don't turn it up. Don't turn it down, it will mess it up. You just want it on a medium heat this whole time. From the time you stick it in the pan and until the time we're done stirring it after 5 minutes of boiling like this. And then we will be back to finish. Okay, our second layer with peanut butter has been boiling away for 5 minutes. It's ready for the marshmallow part. Again, all of these are 1.5 cups of marshmallows, each different layer. 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and and a 1/2 cup of, this is crunchy, chunky peanut butter, but if you want to use creamy, you can. I don't like the creamy as much. I don't like the texture of it. And then spread it evenly over the chocolate layer. And while this is getting hard, we're going to prepare our top layer, which is going to be vanilla. Here we go with our last layer. 2/3 of a cup of evaporated milk, 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to stir these until they start to boil. Then we're going to stir and boil for 5 minutes. Then we're going to add it to our fudge mixture over here. We're going to have 3 layers of fudge. Okay, we finally made it to the final layer. 1.5 cups of marshmallows, just like all the others. Okay, that was 1.5 cups of vanilla chips or white chocolate chips and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. All right, next layer going on. All right, and then we're just gonna spread this on top of the peanut butter. Now you do have to do these layers, like you don't wanna do one today and one tomorrow and one the next day. You kind of do have to do these, you know, one after the other, because if you don't, they won't be together. When you go to cut it, they'll come apart. And here we have our finished product. I'm gonna let this harden. It's probably gonna harden for about an hour, and then we're gonna slice it into pieces, and you're gonna see how lovely it is, and hopefully you're gonna give it a try at your house. We are ready for triple layer fudge. You can just lift it out if you prepared it like this, and I mean, you don't have to do that, it's just going to make it easier. You just pull it out with the parchment, and we're going to take the parchment off. There we go. Sweet. All right. Now we're just going to cut it in pieces. Now, I like to cut it in half and then cut each piece like that. It's just easier for me to keep a better eye on portion sizes that way. But you can do whatever your method is for cutting things evenly. I see people do that on the internet, and it's like magic to me that they can just eyeball and they come out evenly. So you can see that. Let me see if I can get a better piece. I'll get a piece out in the middle. Oh, see, that's perfect. 3 delicious layers of fudge. Chocolate, peanut butter, and vanilla fudge. Triple layer fudge. What's not to like? Give it a try. Let me know how you like it.